Nah, 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 nah. Never give up on yourself, 'cause there is no one else to ever be the way you are. Never give up on your dreams, that you will be that person you always wanted to be. And this life is worth living in the way that you want to live. You gotta just believe. Never give in to your fears when they keep telling you can't do what you were born to do. Never give up.
Hello and welcome to Smile and Spread a Little Joy. I am your host, Deborah, known as the Smile Lady. And SMILE is an acronym, and everybody was born to smile. I don't believe anyone was born to leave this place worse. And the S, that sounds like an S, is for support, because it takes a whole village to raise just one child. That M is motivate, and I say that's the enthusiasm. What's that intrinsic motivation that have you working your purpose, right? That I is invest, giving back. Yes, I need money, but it's more important to give back, to leave this place better than you found it, you know? And you're gonna go with the L. It's the smallest word in SMILE, but the most powerful. Without it, it wouldn't even be a smile. And I'm talking agape. I'm talking about loving regardless. We're supposed to love everybody. We may not like what they do, but we have to love everybody. Do you love what you do? Do you love yourself? You got to do that first before you can help anybody else. That's like putting that oxygen on you before you can help somebody else. They say that all the time when I fly. Put it on you first before you help anybody else. Then your E. E. That is for educate. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So go ahead and smile and spread just a little bit of joy. And every person on my show has a smile to share. Trust me, they would not be sitting in this hot seat. They're working with children. And it's not fame or fortune. It's basically the backstory. It's not how you start, but how you finish this race. And are you giving back? Are you encouraging youth? So anyway, I have somebody on this show that I've been trying to get on the show for years, Michelle Bailey. Awesome in her own right. I should call her a Renaissance woman. She sings. She's a part of the school board. She works with youth. I've known her for over, 20 years now. But now she's in this hot seat. She's going to share her smile, and you're going to see why. I have Michelle Bailey on the school board on this show right now. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So happy to be here.
Yes, that smile. See, that's it. That's part of
and
it.
it turns into a giggle because
yes, it does.
You're so great. That's
you.
wonderful.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Michelle, I know I've been knowing you as long as I've been in the school system almost. I've been in the school system with my children since '78. But more importantly, when my youngest daughter was in high school. Mm-hmm. So I know you worked around youth that entire time. But I want to get more in depth about you and what makes you smile and what you love doing so much that you would do it even if you did not get paid.
You know, it's just spreading love and spreading smile and positive energy. And one of the ways that I like to give back is I like to assist others in being successful.
Yes. Oh, good.
And I really feel that, you know, God blessed me by pouring many gifts onto me, into me. Mm-hmm. And I believe that I was gifted so that I was blessed so that I could be a blessing to others through sharing my gifts. And so, you know, I don't feel that we should work out of a silo.
That's it.
Because I believe so much in community.
Yes.
I believe that community and family are basically one and the same.
Exactly.
And so I treat my neighbors as much as I can like family. I began serving or volunteering in this community to my earliest recollection at the age of 17,
See?
while I was in high school. But in the church where I grew up.
And where is that?
Okay, so my family started at Friendship, but I have an uncle who did his, I believe, associate ministry or pastoring at Bethel Missionary Baptist Church up on Fair Oaks.
Fair Oaks, okay.
And so that I was actually baptized at Bethel by Reverend F.S. Stevens, the late Reverend F.S. Stevens. And then at the same time, I was attending Friendship with my father. And then my uncles, Reverend Sterling Brown Sr.,
No.
the pastor
He's
of Greater New Guide. Yes,
My son Sterling is named after Sterling, and then Onan Walker Bomar. Sterling
wow.
Onan.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so he's my uncle. So, we grew up in the church. I come from a musical family. So at an early age, I was singing. We were all singing. And I remember directing actually, the little cherub choir at Bethel. And then
How wonderful.
when I got to Friendship, I joined the youth choir and began singing there. Thought I was too good to sing in a school choir back then, so I didn't really join the school choir until I was in high school, in 9th grade.
Okay.
And that was because I was playing the violin. So I started playing violin in 6th grade in school.
No.
I started taking piano lessons at 6 years old. So I still read, but I don't play. But I played the violin. I was in all city orchestra here in Pasadena, and then got to high school, and I played in junior high, and got to high school, and they had the choir room. It was so funny. They had the choir room next to the orchestra or the band room, and our lockers. If you took music, I was at PHS. Bulldogs, go Bulldogs! But if you studied music at the time, your locker was in the C building where the music rooms were, and so I came out of the orchestra room saying Figaro, Figaro, Figaro one day, and the choir teacher heard me and said, "Who is that? Who is that voice? Go get her!" And then the rest is history. I ended up in the choir, and I ended up doing the shows, the musical productions that they would do, the spring shows. I started doing that, and we did some winter shows, and I was in chamber singers. So, I was classically trained just a little, but girl, that gospel from church and from my family,
Foundation.
ooh, couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
Couldn't let it go. So, the other thing that I have is just I have just a love for people and different cultures. There is nothing like growing to the point where you can appreciate the difference in the people that are around you. That's what keeps life interesting to me. And so I've always, learned from others. I've gone out of my way to reach out to someone from other countries or other communities even, to learn from them. And then, throughout my travels, I pick up different pieces of knowledge from the things that I experience. And then for some reason, life has this way of bringing things back around. Things come back around. And so I'm able to take and apply some of the things and some of the lessons that I learned through my travels and through my upbringing.
You know what? Ever since I've known you, I've never seen you in a situation. Even when you were running for school board and this, you're always that giggle glow or this, either laughing at somebody or laughing with somebody.
That's
you
right.
just laughing all like the girl Deborah fool. You just going like that, and that is okay. In these times, I don't mind being weird. If what's going on right now is supposed to be saying, I'd rather be weird because it's just horrible. And so,
But it's not weird.
yeah, what is it? The word says, "Be strangers in this land. You are the weird people."
Oh, okay.
Then hello.
Amen.
I'd rather be that stranger because I was like,
Okay.
woohoo. But the one thing, your support system and all that you do. Versie Mae Richardson was related to you.
Versie Mae Richardson, yes. She was my dad's stepmother.
Okay.
And we were very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that, she passed, and she's one of the few African Americans that was in real estate that really was getting the property for our people back in the day, and then Alkebulan.
So in the 80s, Versie Mae Richardson was actually my inspiration for acquiring my real estate license. Because we grew up with her. She had her office at the time when I was growing up was on Garfield and Orange Grove. And I don't know if you remember Enterprise Cleaners, that was across from there.
Okay.
And my dad worked over there and was very close to the owner, Al Moorfield, who owned Enterprise Cleaners. So that was one of my first jobs, was filling his Coke machine.
I took real estate too. I did that back in the day.
But what we would do was, while my dad would be across the street, we would go visit Versie Mae's office over there. And so I just thought all of the realtors were always dressed so nice and professional, and they looked so good, and they looked so important, and I wanted to be important too. So, and I thought that what she did was really great. So I would ask questions, and she was always sharing, always willing to share her knowledge. The other thing, So, but the other thing that impressed me about Versie Mae was that she had a beautiful voice. I don't know.
Oh, really? That's why she did the choir right there at.
She did the
all boys choir.
all boys choir
At Alkebulan. So your support system, you kind of mentioned it. Is there anybody special in that support group, that first letter in SMILE, that you want to thank or you want to mention? Because it takes whatever you're doing. Like you said, Versie Mae inspired you to do this and this one, but your strong support system. I know your family. I see your family everywhere. And your grandbaby. Oh my goodness!
Isn't he cute? He's 6 months old. I'm excited. You know what? I don't think that I've met one person who hasn't had some kind of influence on me in one way or another, regardless of how the relationship was. Because I'm the type of person, I believe that there's a lesson in every experience.
Oh yes, definitely.
And every encounter.
I'm learning that now with these grades. I'm
but it's
proud
beautiful. It is beautiful, and you wear it well.
Yes, I know. Back in the day, I don't know if you remember what program it was, where my baby girl, who's now 36, was dancing behind your singing. Do you remember that song you sang?
Of course.
What was that song?
So it was a fashion show that the late Janice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
oh,
Janice
gosh.
Allen. She would organize the.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was like an institute for girls.
Yeah, and the etiquette.
Etiquette
yes.
Institute.
Yeah. Etiquette Institute.
And it would culminate into a fashion show. And she would always bring up someone from the community to do a song or whatever their gift was to share on the program. And I performed Yolanda Adams', what was the name of it? I Opened My Heart. I believe that's the name of it.
And Lena danced it.
And
how
your
she got
daughter was
selected?
like,
I don't know.
because I saw her dance somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, I remember she helped me out. Her church, there was a dance. There was something going on with the churches, the praise dancers, and she had like 3-year-olds praise dancing. Remember from her church, and it was so inspiring. And so I was just like, "Do you dance?" She danced for me, and I saw her dance and fell in love with her. And I did not know that she was going to wear that white. Oh, and she wore that white.
I got chills right now. You're talking about it. I got chills.
And I wasn't supposed to look at her while I was singing, and it took everything for me not to watch her dance. And she was so grateful. Yeah. And I was so honored to share the stage with her. And you two
were just like, look at these chills.
I know, huh? Yeah.
I got it. She danced for her final. She did Birmingham Sunday John Coltrane for her finals in dance in college. And the opposite, she wore all black. She was draped under black like it was a funeral, and then she came up alive, and the black robe became her baby. It was just so, and then I still think about her dancing behind your singing. So one day you're going to come on and perform, I know. Now your motivation, you said your motivation, your family and the church and all of that. Anything else you want to add in there as far as your motivation to become the beautiful person that you are?
Just love the scriptures. The scriptures tell us to love one another. And
especially Corinthians.
And when you take that to heart, when you love God,
your operative word, to heart.
Yeah, you love God and you want to keep His commandments, and He commands us to love one another, to love our neighbors more than we love ourselves. When you take that to heart, that's what comes out of you. Because that's what's in you. It's in you to love. It's in you to care and share. And that's very important.
Yeah,
it's very important.
You're such an easy guest to interview because you've encapsulated the smile in almost every single answer. And I know you're on the school board. You just recently got elected on the school board. How has that been? I know that's one of the ways you're investing back in the community. So let's talk about how you're using your gift as well as the school board to give back to the community and our youth.
So for me, I believe that everything that I've done professionally and as a volunteer in the community, I served on the commissions, the Northwest Commission, and oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank.
Are you still working under
the Human
Skinner?
Relations? The Human Relations Commission.
Okay, Human Relations.
Okay, so I served on those two commissions for a total of 13 years, I believe.
Whoa,
so
that prepared
I believe
you.
all of that prepared me, yes, because remember I did a run in 07 for city council, and I was just new to it all, trying to get to that, rise to that level of leadership in the community. And so, I've since gone through the Pasadena Police Citizens Academy. I've gone through Leadership Pasadena. I've gone through some trainings that Chick-fil-A does for within religious organizations, and served on some boards and done a lot of work in my church as a leader. And so I think all of that has prepared me for where I am now. And, I really worked hard. I knew from a small child that I wanted to serve the community in a position, in a high position, in an elected capacity. And so the school board is going well. The thing about it is it's not new to me in a sense, because I worked for the district. I worked in the district for 14 years. And so what it feels like now is that I've got a promotion.
And you have
I'm just
more
not
of
making
a
that
voice.
salary, but yes. So now,
Is that a paid position?
No, it's not. That's why I said I'm not making the salary.
Hello, hallelujah.
But you know what?
What is it you love
so
doing
when you
so
talk
much,
about that,
you'll do it even if you
go.
didn't get paid.
Girl, those babies, the children, our students.
That's what I tell
that
people.
Is, oh my
that
goodness.
is your reward.
Education is so important. And we have to start when they're really, really young. And I just feel that I need to do everything that I can do that's within my power to ensure that the students in Pasadena receive a quality education.
That's it. That is it. That's why you're on this show. You got to share the smile. That is something that is so embedded in me, and it really starts at home. And I want to say, parents, really, really, really start training them at home. It's not all the teachers' job to do that. You have to back up and support the teacher. You support each other. It's a community. Like I said, it takes a whole village, and that's one thing.
It does.
And you love. We're at the love now.
And I can't do it alone either as a
Exactly.
board member. I have to work with 6
Exactly.
other board members.
Exactly.
And it's funny because I'm at a place in leadership and in my life where I can't look at people as individuals. You know, I have to sit down and I have to measure people by what they bring to the table and what they add to the discussion, and find a way to show that, first of all, I hear it, I appreciate it, and now let's see what we can do with it. You know, I want to hear from all stakeholders. I want to be able to consider whatever is laid before me, because I believe that anything is possible.
Yes, yes.
Don't tell me that something can't be
Hello.
done.
Hello.
Don't tell me that it's just not going to happen, because you know what? Then I'm going to find a way to make it happen. So.
I'm looking for more counselors in the elementary school, and more of things that, you know, now with this technology and all of this and this age compression, they're waiting till they get to high school or college to have these counselors, not necessarily guidance counselors, but counselors for the mental health, and more of that there, and more languages in the school, sign language and maybe Spanish. I don't believe a school should just teach one language. That's just it's been weird to me. That
Have you toured any of our schools lately?
not within the last year, but I know Elliott. I got to get back to Elliott, because you know I was in every one of the schools for a minute.
So you know, we have the dual immersion Spanish programs going on.
In all of
And not in all. So you should check out Blair Middle
Okay.
School, I believe Jackson, and then we have Mandarin at Field.
Okay, good.
And you should check those out, and so that you can see what's going on. Some
My
of the things
proposal
that's
would
going
be,
on.
if I got on there, American Sign Language from K through 5,
You know,
mandatory.
and I agree with that. We had
American Sign
we
Language.
had it very briefly. We had it very briefly, you know, and the issue that we have, you know, is it's budgetary, you know, and that's going on throughout the country. Education is just, it's not funded adequately enough for today. You know, things have changed, and that's one of the things that, you know, I'm hoping that really soon we'll be able to sit down as a district and look at what we need to shift or adjust in how we administer our programs and pay, fund our programs that we administer, so that we can provide different, more variety of programs to our students. You know, technology has come in. You know, we need to
And they're
to
going to
be
take away
more.
what cursive, and they're going to take out this. You know, eventually, probably in another year, we won't even have cursive, because the computers and everything does all of that.
Well, not only that, if you know how you sat down and you learned how to back a letter. Have you ever asked a school-age student right now to back a letter?
I don't
I
even
don't
know
e-
what a back a letter is.
You know, you put the address on it when you're gonna mail it to
Oh,
someone.
yeah.
You back. They don't even write. They
No.
don't need letters
No.
anymore, because so they say, well, what is that? What do you? And it's so funny. Yeah, my own kids did
Wait
that.
a minute. I was in a kindergarten class maybe 2 years ago, and I said, you know, when you play this record, what's a record?
Oh yes, yes.
What's a record? I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh, my kids will tell you, if you come to my house, I have this massive album collection, and I have a turntable with my Technique speakers that I love.
Shut up.
Yes, and I will give you a history lesson. I have music from the big band era that I got from my dad. He had a collection.
Oh my goodness.
Big band, jazz. Okay, I have hip hop,
Oh,
rock.
I would love to
I
come
have
over there with that.
classical.
Oh.
I have R&B. I have gospel. I'm talking on vinyl.
Oh wow.
Okay, I have the color purple
Wow.
soundtrack on vinyl. So it's like, and it's a purple album. But the thing is, my kids will tell you, if when they were in school and they would bring their friends over, and they'd be sitting in the living room waiting for them to get dressed or to come out or whatever, I'm in there and, oh, we're having a history lesson on vinyl. And I'm pulling it out, Marvin Gaye, or if we're talking about what's happening in the world, there's so much music like
What's going on?
Yes.
What's
Honey,
going-
and Curtis Mayfield.
Yes,
Oh.
we did a lot of our talk there. I know we're kind of running out of time. I
I
want
know,
you
and
to
I'm all
take
over
your
the place.
no. It's perfect. It's perfect. your education, and then you can go in and look in your camera for the words of wisdom. But so where did you go to school? Where did you get your degree?
So I don't have a degree. I did not finish my degree.
Okay,
I
and what
did
was that
not.
going to be?
You really want to know?
Uh-oh.
It was radio, TV, broadcast, and
Shut
communication.
up. That's why you're so good.
I did voiceovers for back in the middle '80s for the American Radio Network.
Wow.
I used to do
That's why.
PSAs.
See, I knew it. I knew it. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically your school, your high school was PHS.
PHS.
Okay. And then where did you go for your radio? Where did you start?
So I started at PCC. Okay, but then I transferred to San Jose State.
Okay.
And didn't get to complete
Oh,
that because of some difficulties
Okay,
that happened in
you know,
life.
I know how that is.
Exactly.
It was late for me to get my master's and working on my
But
doctorate. I'm still working
is-
at it.
The thing is, I was able to take other classes, like I was into insurance, so I got my license to sell that, real estate, and I was about to get my securities license because I got really interested in investments, and I wanted to give back to people in that way, especially our community where you know we're brought up more to be consumers than we are to be investors. But you know what? That's changing.
Yes,
that
yes.
is changing.
Good.
Yes, and
For
I'm
people
loving
like
it.
you with that smile, I want you to look in your camera
Uh-huh.
and give some words of wisdom. You know, what you want the youth to do, whatever we didn't cover, because you're just a perfect smile guest. Because you really, not only smiling while you're giving it, but you have an actual smile to give back. But go ahead and give your words of wisdom.
You know what? It is really important for you to always, whenever you're in a situation and you have to think about what to do when you're dealing with another human being, you should always do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that will put everything in its proper place.
That's it. Oh my goodness. And my words of wisdom for you is this. Everybody was born to smile, like I said in the opening. Tap into your smile and give back to leave this place better than you found it. And the love she was talking about is that agape love. You even have to love POTUS 45 no matter what. Maybe not like what he does, but love him. Because holding on to anger and resentment is like taking poison, hoping the other person dies. Share your smile, because I'm going to get some more smile energy right now.
All right, girl, you got it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect. And you can go ahead and do what you do at the Cleveland.
You gotta just believe. Never give in to your fears when they keep telling you can't do what you were born to do. No. Never give up on your